Okay, people are still piling in the room, but I think we'll get cracking. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's an international call. My name is Richard Maude. I'm an independent member with CFX. I've been with the company now for 13 months. It's been an amazing experience, and on this call today I thought I'd do something a bit different from some of the other trainings we've been doing on Saturday. We're going to be decided that we're going to cover today a bit more on the due diligence on CFX. It's really important that you actually understand what you've got with CFX, and the foundation is knowing that you're in a very good business. It's very hard to build anything if you have doubts. I was talking to one of my leaders the other day, and he mentioned that he'd had some people sort of being a bit negative in one of his WhatsApp groups. And I asked him why that was. And he sort of said, oh, you know, some people still have doubts, that kind of thing. And very often it's because they haven't done proper due diligence on the project that this happens. And this is why I'm in the business. For those of you that don't know me, my background, I've been involved in network marketing for 20 years. Originally, I was a sales and marketing director in the City of London, but I'm also a traditional business person as well. I've been company directors for many years, many companies over the years. Most recently, I was the company director of a company called Deval. And I also invest in startup companies, quite significant sums, up to £250,000 into some projects. And my goodness, people are still jumping in. I also raise funds for projects as well. We're currently working on projects of anywhere from 20 to 200 million pounds. Everything from satellites through to state-of-the-art pipelines, etc. So due diligence is very close to my heart. It's something that I do, particularly if I'm investing into a startup company. And early on in my career, I wasn't actually doing proper due diligence. I was just jumping into deals because someone said it was okay to do so. And I got burnt a couple of times as a result of that. So one of the reasons why I've actually been out of the industry for probably 3 years until I found CFX was simply because I then applied the same principles I applied when I'm investing into a startup company, and did proper due diligence on the projects. And unfortunately, as is the case in the marketplace that we're in right now, all of the companies didn't stack up. There was always something wrong with them. There wasn't the liquidity in the market to enable the company to grow. The people behind it, you know, were not skilled enough or had the finances to take the project forward. The business model was non-sustainable. That was a very common one, etc. You know, some of them were just outright Ponzi's. And so that's why I was out of the industry, because I just couldn't find anything. As soon as I started doing any proper due diligence on a project, it then didn't stack up. So when John Kinnear, those of you may know John, who is now the marketing director, he wasn't the marketing director at the time, approached me regarding CFX, I knew already that it would probably be something that was worthwhile looking at, simply because of the fact that John is very much like me. He won't just jump into any old project. He's someone that is very analytical in his approach, even more so than I am. So I knew that he'd have looked into it quite significantly before he showed it to me. And sure enough, you know, when I looked at it, I was very impressed with what I saw, and certainly enough to join the business. And then we did further due diligence. John then went over and spent 3 days with the owners, went through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And that is what, you know, now gives me the confidence to be able to go out there and recommend the business the way I am, because everything stacks up. Now, it's really important to understand in any business that there's no such thing as a guarantee. It doesn't exist. You know, is it likely that CFX is going to fail? Absolutely not, and I'll show you the reasons why. It is extremely likely that CashFX is going to be around long term, with everything they've got set up and everything that they are doing and everything we're seeing they're doing, which is the key thing. But no guarantees. It just doesn't happen in business. I wish it did. You know, when I'm investing into a startup company, it would be lovely to know that for a fact that you've got a guaranteed business that is definitely going to be around long term, or is going to be successful. But unfortunately, that just does not exist. But you can minimize the risk by going through the due diligence, and that's what I thought I'd share with you today. Some of you have seen my business overviews, that I do go through quite a bit of the due diligence on the project, but that's just almost an overview. I'm going to go through a couple more things with you today that perhaps you would not know about, that again, from my point of view, makes CashFX special, the way they're setting it up and everything else. So whilst this is a slightly perhaps unusual training session, it's nevertheless really important you understand this. If you guys have seen my goal setting training, one of the first things I say is make sure that you've done your due diligence on the project and you're happy with it. Because if you don't have that, you're not going to build a business. You know, you're going to end up sitting on the fence, doing very little, worrying about whether you should show other people and that kind of thing. And as I said, it's the same thing. You know, when I'm raising funds for an investment project, I'm not telling the investors that the business is guaranteed